for Marcellus Shale?
We are.
All right. So back in 2012, Act 13 was passed by the legislature to create Marcellus Shale grant opportunities for both DCNR and for counties in the state to utilize funds that are generated from the well drilling and the natural gas industry for projects related to in most cases for our county related to greenways, trails, recreation, environmental programs, and recreational opportunities. There are other eligible uses such as plugging of old wells and so on, but some of those we just don't have here in Lebanon County because we've not had the industry here, even though every county is still eligible for this funding. You had 11. There was a window of application in November and December. We've been doing it every other year. Initially, when this legislation was passed, we were doing grants every year, but found that the amount that was accumulated wasn't really enough to fund projects. It was only funding fractions of projects and not really enough for organizations to use to commit to completing the project. So by doing it every other year, it's able to allow, that allows the fund to accumulate a bit. So we have 11 applications. There was $248,000 available for funding. Those 11 projects, as requested, totaled $225,657. So you, unusually, you had the luxury of being able to fund them all without any changes, if you so choose.
Did you mention the max is 25?
No, I didn't. So, right. In your program, which is, those are your own parameters, the maximum grant application is $25,000, or grant award can be $25,000. So the 11 projects that have submitted applications are the Lebanon County Conservation District for the Envirothon for high school, middle school, and elementary school students in 2023-24. Jackson Township to make improvements to their Fairlane Avenue Park, a new swing set, 2 additional pickleball courts. South Lebanon Township, they want to resurface the park path for 6,672 feet in South Hills Park. Clarence Schock Memorial Park at Governor Dick proposes to extend electric service to the observation tower for security lighting and cameras for more safety in the use of that tower. North Cornwall Township, Snitz Creek Park trail paving to surface the existing stone walking path through Snitz Creek Park. North Lebanon Township would like to extend the Lenni Lenapi walking path at their park. Friends of the Coleman Memorial Park would like to use funds to plant American chestnut trees in the park and removal of tree stumps from various areas of the park. East Hanover Township, tennis court resurfacing and sealing at the HM Levitz Park. Jonestown Borough to use pedestrian crosswalk lights for their walking network within Jonestown, crossing over Market Street. Campbelltown Community Alliance to use funds for installation of playground equipment, benches, and playground mulch at the Campbelltown Community Park. And Richland Community Swimming Pool Association to repurpose the former swimming pool site in Richland. They have sinkhole repair prior to the beginning of their redevelopment of the site for recreational purposes.
I'll make a motion to approve the 11 Marcellus Shale grant applications as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any particular questions about the motion?
Are any of those projects hitting the max of 25 grand?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't read them all as I went.
About 5.
I think let me put it another way. Of the 11, 3 are not.
Okay.
The rest are. So it's Friends of Coleman Park asked for $1,477. East Hanover Township asked for $15,000. Jonestown Borough $10,000. The rest are $25,000. One's $24,780. So for the most part, yes.
Joelle and Gabe.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further comment or question? These are all good projects, and It'll all make a nice difference in those areas sprinkled throughout the county, especially pickleball. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So moved.
Two more items, the first being a liquid fuels application for county aid for Lebanon City. They would like to use their allocation for the 2022 Lebanon City paving project. Total cost of that is $215,477. Their allocation would be $25,477.
Motion approved.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve that Lebanon City request for liquid fuels expenditure. Any questions? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. So moved.
And lastly, I have two applications for real estate property tax exemption for disabled veterans who qualify. They are Nancy Lane of Justa Lane, Lebanon, and Jamie Garcia Diaz of Alden Way, Lebanon.
I make a motion to approve the two 100% disabled veterans for real estate tax exemption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve those two exemptions. Any questions? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. So moved.
That's all I have.
Okay. Anything else from the floor?
Yes, sorry. With the city in the process of exiting the building, how are you proceeding? I mean, is there gonna be some sort of, obviously, there's gonna be a reallocation of the space, once they're fully out. How are you going to do that?
Well, they're not going to be out until sometime probably in July. The sales agreement with the city provided a 90-day, what's the word I want to use? They may stay for 90 days post-settlement. They have, I think, moved most of their things out, but what they're leaving behind, they're going to do an online auction, and then there'll need to be time for all the items to be removed and so on. I have been seeking from departments what their needs are, and going to sit down with architect to kind of allocate that, since the plans are already in place. The drawings or the blueprints of the building are already in place from past projects like fire alarm, some other remodeling that was done and so on, and then make determinations based on that, the commissioners. But I think there are some that are, I think, pretty easy to expect, what their needs are. The district attorney's office is very tight, the sheriff's office is very tight, children and youth is very tight, so we have 3 or 4 who really have some immediate needs that we'll take care of as quickly as we can. But then I'm anticipating there'll be some other changes.
Are you
Move around.
talking about, like, taking down walls and things of this nature?
Not really. I mean, a lot of the walls are structural, and the space, some of the space in the city side, I call it move-in condition, is good space. I mean, the city treasurer's office, for example, is really good space with a nice counter and so on. There are a number of vaults over there, more than you'd ever imagine. But then there are other spaces that are going to need some substantial renovation, just due to time. The building's 60 years old, so, yeah.
It's safe to say that just in getting to see some of the departments, nobody has a wealth of space in any of our departments now. Some are tighter than others, so it's going to be a process to go through.
Is there gonna be there's gonna have to be a lot of IT stuff, right?
Yep.
Wiring and...
Yep. Yeah, but, I mean, we haven't really been able to get into many of the areas. They're just moving now.
Yeah.
And the police department specifically, they were keeping pretty tight, and we haven't been in there, but I see that even this morning, I see they're still moving things out of the garage over there. And so essentially, we don't have access or control of the space for another 2.5 months.
Do you anticipate ever reopening the doors on the 8th Street side?
Courthouse security is up to the sheriff, so I'll defer. or he's.
Do you ever anticipate opening the doors on the South 8th Street
He
side?
just happens to be here.
Come on, I've answered enough.
From my understanding is that there was a study done on courthouse security, and the way it came back is that there should be one access point into the building.
If I remember correctly, there was actually a recommendation from Homeland Security to that effect that the sheriff received. So that's one of the reasons it stays the way it is.
What will you do with that door that goes into the police department? I mean, I guess you'll just lock it?
That's what's currently, I mean, it's locked during the daytime. So
Employees. It's an
Oh.
employee.
Well, it's 24 now.
Yeah, now it's locked. Prior to, it would just be locked during the daytime, and then after business hours, the front door for the police station was open. Now it's been locked since they've been out.
Yep,
Right.
okay. If nothing else, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, thank you. We stand adjourned.